Okay, sir.
Okay, good morning, brothers and sisters, viewers all around the world. My name is Joseph Osemudiame Mawuli Orukwe, and this is Benin Empire Advancement League, a live broadcast. And joining me this morning is the president and founder of Benin Empire Advancement League, in the person of Mr. Bello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, family. Good morning, Nigerians. All people from Edo State. Thank you for being us today, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you, sir.
President of this great organization, and also a co-founder.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. How was your week, sir? This is a new week.
A difficult one, but we survive it.
Okay, sir. Straight to the issues that we are going to be discussing today. I wanted us to start with the suspension of Professor Akenzwa by the palace. You know, and there's been so many back and forths on this issue in time past. But when the news broke, I was quite disappointed. You know, in the fact that I always thought that there could always be a way out to all these things. But again, he's been suspended, and there seemed to be some sort of jubilation, especially on the side of those who are pro-palace, who seem to be pro-palace. You know, so Mr. President, I wanted to have your take on the issue. If you could give us a little background, give us a little bit of information as to how we got to this point, so that some of our viewers or our listeners who do not understand how, the whole issue could be able to, have a clear understanding of the issues that got us to this point. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning once again, everyone. The Enoge of Ewobanosa, Prince Professor Akenzwa, is also a family friend, I can say, and also the former Enoge of Ewobanosa till his suspension. The professor was appointed Enoge of Ewobanosa by Oba Erediawa of blessed memory. And at the beginning there was a lot of issue because Ewobanosa in the sense was not in existence before the coming of Professor Idugbawa. When Professor Idugbawa came, Oba Erediawa renamed Owa. A town called Owa to Ewobanosa. And there was a lot of issues. So many of these citizens of this town cried out immediately. It's like you are changing the identity of. And in our village also there was a lot of issues that was supposed to be addressed in a good manner. Let me put it that way. It takes a few years. There was a lot of commotion and disorder in these communities, including our own community also. And the professor paid to make a real progress. He was not even trying to recognize people he met in that community. He was alien to that community. But because of the respect of Erediawa from our own community and the surrounding community, we accepted everything. We even built him a residence and everything. And then later, I think we realized that there was a mistake at the beginning, which he corrected. to some extent, everybody was okay with the agreement and the arrangement that was made. But of recent, we also know that there was issues in the community where he was relatively chased almost out of this community. People were trying to kill him, through chasing his car to the nearest police station. He managed to survive that attack. And instead, there has been issues leading to the militants from hours he left, and people were complaining that whenever there's issue, there have been someone to Benin, not even in their own community, that the issue will be resolved. But that notwithstanding, the people refuse to challenge him because they know he's from the royal family. Anybody respects the royal community. But of recent, there has been this information that came out from the palace. Some people signed some type of paper against the palace. Normally, before those first paper is signed, it needs to be addressed by the community. The Enogies doesn't really have this full authority signing any paper on behalf of the people they are governing. Because the Enogies, they are like a governor appointed by the Oba of Benin. So there are various communities to govern over them. And in those communities, there is a sort of democracy. After the Enogie, maybe if they expel your hand, that community, your hand will take responsibility. And the Odion also has a role to play. And in most of our community today, we see that the youth are taking over power, which now CDA or whatever they call them, or something, which totally against the Benin tradition, normally. And in case of Idubowa, after signing that paper, he refused to come to the community to explain the community why he signed on their behalf. Because anything they don't do always affects the community. Anything a leader do always affects his people.
Yeah, exactly.
Either positively or negatively.
Exactly.
So I believe there was a sort of discussion among the communities, and they came to a conclusion to protest against this about signing a document on their behalf by their anointing. As the Oba of Benin, you have to take every complaint from any community very seriously, and then do proper investigation. Send people to those communities to investigate what really goes on and what went wrong, how they did wrong. If there's something they can do immediately, they will do. And they will call this Enogie or the community leader to order. If there's one, maybe to say, okay, I'm sorry to the community or something like that, you can do that. But if it's something that is very, very, very serious, they have to take action. They have to take action, no matter who that person is. They have to take action. Because we have seen this the past 3 years. Some chiefs were suspended for a period of time, or they were suspended for 2 years, 1 year, or something like that. In the case of Ewopanosa, I don't know if hereditary, because there are some Enogie the senior son will take over the throne. I don't know about that, but I know in the case of Abudu, after the death of the Enogie, when the senior son refused the throne of his mother, Abudu was also kept now under Ewopanosa. So I think the Oba of Benin made the proclamation a few months ago, removing Abudu under Enogie of Ewopanosa. I believe there was already issue between the village and the Enogie. And things continue ever since. And we have seen, I think, about 2 weeks ago, there was a protest
Yes,
in
in the palace.
palace of Oba Benin from these communities against the professor. I believe they had to reach an agreement, and the Oba Benin have to look at the issue again, and they have to take a proper action, to save the community from descending into any calamity.
Okay,
So
Mr. President, I would like to ask a question.
yes,
there are those who are on social media who are going about saying that Professor Akenzwa, the Enoji of Oba Nosa, is having a fight with the Oba of Benin. Is that really true?
I don't think so, sir. Because there's a say in Benin where you give birth to a king, but never call him a small boy.
Mm-hmm.
All the sons of former Obas know that very well. So there's nobody who will show that.
Okay, well, there's also this saying that Professor Akenzwa was part of the party that went to represent the Benin Kingdom in Germany when we were talking about the repatriation of the artifacts. And I have seen some people say on social media that he betrayed the palace and he joined hands with Governor Obaseki in trying to, circumvent the whole procedure and make sure that the artifacts, instead of going to the palace, should go into the custody of the government of Edo State. And do you think that's an issue, or do you think that that's the real issue behind all this? First and foremost, we must even first establish, are these issues, these accusations, are they really proven accusations? Do we have evidence to the fact that Professor Akenzwa actually betrayed the palace and was working with the governor of Edo State?
You know, sir, I can't say because I don't have any document to back that. Or I doesn't have any information from the palace to back this is what we are saying. But all I know, I met personally with the professor about 3 years ago. I went to thank him because he was very helpful during the reign of my own father too. So, and they were very, very good friends, even to Oba Erida of Nested Memory. And he also talked about this artifact, how he represent those states or the palace in a country like Austria, Germany, and he was very proud of that, and he was very proud of what he was doing. But of recent, there was an allegation on the issue of about the museum, where the artifacts were kept and which not kept. There were allegations against him. If this allegation is proven or is not proven, I can't say that. I believe if it is proven, the Oba of Benin will take it will not allow such people to be part of the team again. And this is also a betrayal, not just to the palace, but also to the Edo people. I believe the prince also knows that very well, and I don't think there's anything I can say about that without proper evidence. But all I know, everything started changing when this allegation came up, and the signing of the paper, and people complained. They went to Germany with the people from the governor office without the knowledge of the palace and all that. I don't know if it's proven or not proven. I can't speak that because I'm not there. And I don't know any of these people who is bringing this allegation for what is also there when everything happened. Because we doesn't know what was discussed, and everything I'm saying now is just from my own knowledge. Because I can't really back it up with anything. This is what I believe transpired between both of them, both of the Omo N'Oba and his brother, and I want to say this to all Edo people, to all Benin. You know, if it is proven the Oba of Benin is the only person that is going to take the necessary action. And we must not forget Oba Akenzwa of blessed memory, we called us Midwestern state before. You know, he was the one who fought the fight, not you people. We will have a Bende state. He came up with the idea of Bende state. He was fighting on the forefront. I think we owe the children a little bit of respect instead of coming out in social media to insult. You know, don't forget, he's still a prince in Benin. You know, when you come out to insult the prince, you're indirectly insulting the palace. No matter what transpires. If you come out to write nonsense in Facebook against our prince, you are also insulting us.
Exactly.
So I believe we mind the way we talk and what we are also right. Among our children in the Edo State, we don't have enemies. We have differences. We have different views. That is what makes us great. Because everybody needs to think for himself. That is why many people are not speaking Edo today, because our forefather knows that. You know, that everybody is independent, thinking for himself. You know, the palace always have a way to maybe to do something when it comes to some issues. I can't understand some of our people coming out to say the prince of the Benin Kingdom is an enemy of the Benin Empire. That cannot be. You can't come out to say something like that.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, you want to say something? You want to say something?
Yeah, I want to really caution our people when we are doing things. We have this issue in social media. Real social media issue. And then we know what is happening. And we know there are some people who are giving fake information out of the palace to make sure there's a commotion among the palace and the people. We know that. And I'm warning all Edos, before you go into conclusion, insulting somebody in social media, a prince of Benin, a Nogi, acquainted, before the Oba of Benin even pronounce personal nograta, you are at the same time insulting the institution of the Benin. So that is all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'm just going to address this issue from a different, point of view, but to complement what you have actually said. In the past 24 to 48 hours, I have observed certain activists of Edo origin who quickly rushed to their Facebook page and were boasting, very boastful, jubilating for the suspension of Professor Akenzwa. First and foremost, I think these people are little-minded individuals. Exactly. You know, I do not have any polite way of describing them. Any Edo person who comes on social media to jubilate over issues that are happening, that is befalling the Benin Kingdom, whether because you think the person is fighting against the Oba's palace or is fighting against the Oba, I think you are a little-minded person. People with big hearts would step back and soberly reflect on the things that are happening. This is not the first time we've had issues of princes fighting. This is not the first time we've had siblings fighting. If you look at the history of the Great Benin Kingdom, we've always had these issues. You know, it is part of these issues that created the movement of Izodua, Ekaladeha to Ife, you know, and he came back again. you know. So when things like this happen, I expect sane-minded individuals who know our history, I expect them to sit down and reflect on how best, you know, we can make utterances that can enlighten our people, utterances that can, you know, that can position the kingdom in a positive light. But when you see these people come out to beat their chest, first and foremost, you cannot tell the Oba of Benin what to do.
Exactly.
First and foremost. So all these activists who are running around on social media trying to claim glory, you have no say when the Oba of Benin wants to make his decisions. But you choose to give an impression to your gullible followers, people who are half intelligent or not even intelligent, who think that it's the garbage you churn out on social media that is influencing the decision of the Oba. You are too small to influence the decision of an Oba. We need to first establish these things.
Yes.
Because when they come out on social media to say this rubbish, the impression you give outsiders is that the Oba of Benin does not have a mind of his own.
Exactly.
That he is swayed by the nonsense you people do on social media. The Oba of Benin is not swayed by the nonsense you do on social media. Because if the Oba of Benin was following the nonsense you people put out on social media, Benin would have been burnt down by now. Because we know the antics, we know your machinations, we know how you knock heads together and exploit bickerings and misunderstandings amongst the people. We know these things, we see them. But the reason why we can see through the things you do is because some of us, we sit back and we try to process the whole situation, we digest it before we take a position. And so I believe at this point, instead of people going around on social media beating chest and celebrating, this is a time of sober reflection. This is not the time of saying we have conquered one person. You cannot conquer anybody. The person you are talking about is a family of the king. Whether you like it or not. The most the king can do is to discipline him. The king will not throw him under the bus. It's never going to happen. And so we need to understand these things. Because the things you people are even accusing this same person of are the things you people do. You go about, you betray the Benin agenda, you use the Benin agenda for your own selfish, your self agendas. You use the Benin agenda, using the name of the palace, using creating all this unnecessary chaos, you know, to rob gullible minds, exploit people. We know all those things. So if you are coming on social media to say that Professor Akenzwa is against the Benin people, is against the palace, what about the things you have also done? But we have not come out to paint you black. We have not come out to start throwing things around. Even when we have evidences of the things some of you have done, or the things some of you are doing, in the name of the palace, both in and outside the country, because we believe as Benin people, when things happen, we must sit down and have a discussion. And when you are wrong, we'll tell you you are wrong. But we will not say because you are wrong, we'll throw you out to the dogs. And so it is shameful when I see people who call themselves cultural activists come on new media to begin to beat their chest, acting like uncultured people. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, Mr. President, I have seen too many Edos these days act like uncultured people. And I begin to ask myself, what is going on? You know, I begin to ask myself, what is going on? Because our forefathers are not people, they are not known for this kind of attitude. When there are issues in Benin Kingdom, they sit down, they have discussions, they find a way, you know, to solve these issues. They don't go on social media to be shouting or have town criers going up and down in communities to be shouting. We need to begin to, you know, kill this appetite to pull everybody down. I am more concerned about the things going on because I know the implications of some of those things. But these people don't have the common sense to think. Because I know that the traditional rulership is under the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Local Government. And the Minister of Chieftaincy and Local Government is under the Governor of Edo State. And I am more concerned if truly the allegations that are out there are truly true, that Professor Akenzwa took sides with the governor, you know, against the Oba's palace. I'm more concerned because if the Oba is taking any step at this moment against Professor Akenzwa, who some see as an ally of the governor, I am concerned about what the governor is going to do. I am concerned about what politicians are going to do. We are more concerned with the issues of stability and economic growth of the people, and not all this nonsense people are doing on social media, trying to claim that they are what we know they are not. Anyway, but Mr. President, that's that issue. I hope and I pray that cool heads prevail, and I hope that the governor of Edo State does not take the bait. That is the most important thing for me. I hope the governor of Edo State does not take the bait. Governor Obaseki, do not take the bait, because you are an executive officer, you are a governor, end your tenure and end it well. Because if Edo State progresses under you as governor, it is to the benefit of the people of the state. And do not get yourself involved in things that will distract you from the legacy that you are building. That's the most important thing for us. I'm not going to stand and condone anybody who insults the Oba or does things to demean the authority of the palace. I won't do that. But I am not also going to use the sluggish mob mentality that is going on social media, because for us, the most important thing should be the prosperity of our people.
Exactly.
That is the most important thing for us, the prosperity of every Edo person, every Esan person, every Ika person, every Nkwani person, every Izon person, every tribe, including the foreigners who are living in Edo State. The prosperity of these people is our utmost concern. And so anything that is going to bring distractions and fight and bickerings, we as a people should be able to sit down and say, no. I would always take sides with the palace, because the Oba of Benin is a custodian of our culture and our tradition. But I also would have to have a broader view of the whole situation.
Exactly.
The Oba of Benin is not the one that passes the budget. He's not the one that builds the roads. He's not the one that creates economic policy. It is the state governor. And so how we must balance these things to make sure, you know, these two institutions work together for the benefit of the people, work together in mutual respect for the benefit of the people, should be the major concern of every sane Benin person. All this we know go gree we do on social media is childish, because it doesn't put food on the table of the people. It doesn't give them 24 hours electricity. It doesn't give them good roads. It doesn't build and give us good security. Edo people must allow the Oba to make his decisions and stop creating enemies for the palace, because the utterances of some of these people clearly is creating problems. And the Oba has enough in his hands already.
Yes.
We should not come and compound. The king is trying, because he is limited. He has limited authority. That is the reality. The political equation today limits the authority of the king. So we shouldn't go and compound the problem of the king, because there are politicians who are just looking around trying to exploit the situation. And for us, that should be the concern of every sane Benin person. Well, Mr. President, I think we've said enough on this issue. Maybe we'll move to the next issue. So
just one thing.
All right.
The Edo people should understand. We as an organization, we doesn't have because we always say mother doesn't have doesn't have a half mother. It's likewise the palace and the Edo people. We are all one. Obaseki is an Edo person.
Exactly.
The palace is an Edo institution. Because the Oba of Benin, the former Oba of Benin, Oba Eredawa, always say, if I hear him, you don't destroy a maize for a yam. Don't destroy a yam for a maize, because both of them are food.
Exactly.
So we should be very, very, very careful in everything we are doing, because there are some elements I've been looking for a very long time who are trying to cause commotion. Yes, the Emperor of Benin Palace and the government, they cannot always be in good terms. They have to also be a different opinion. You have to be a different opinion. We can work together. We can come to the table and discuss issues out. There's always a solution when you sit down and talk together. It's not that the one we are shouting. We all know we are children of people.
Exactly.
No one is from the ocean. So we are brought up in the soil of the Empire. I think we should respect that. And the professor is a prince, as I said before, a prince from the royal family, the son of Oba Akenzo, who gave much to the Edo people, to the whole Benin race. So we should respect that. Not just commit to say nobody is an enemy of the we are of different opinions. That doesn't make us be an enemy. Because that word enemy should not always be used when any issue come out. We should mind the word. We should choose the word we are using. Government have been suspending commissioners, they have been suspending secretaries, they have been doing all sorts of things. After proper investigation, some of them came back again to their own position. Because we shouldn't judge for the palace, as I said before, because the palace is going to look into this issue very carefully, and make that decision. The suspension is the normal procedure. It's a normal procedure of the palace. It's not something new. So thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. President. So okay, the next issue on the table, I mean, we still have to go back to this Edo Esa Bruhaha, this artificial hatred that I see some of my people on social media, they just keep fanning the embers of disunity, and during the week, we've seen too many. We've seen utterances, we've seen people do live broadcasts on new media and have said all sorts of things. We've had the ASAs come up with the ASA agenda, shout. And I am an ASA man as well as an Edo man, and I've always said, there is no ASA agenda. We ASAs know our agenda. The ASA agenda has always been to support anybody that promotes the unity of the Benin people. That has always been an ASA agenda. That is why ASAs would vote an Obaseki when it matters most. That is why an ASA will vote Oshiomhole when it matters most. ASAs have voted both on APC and PDP lines. party lines, because we are independent-minded people. What a sane Esan person thinks about is not tribe. We are more concerned about who is going to, bring prosperity. And so when we have another set of people who we know are going about this Esan agenda thing for their own selfish interest, we know all those people. We know the organizations they founded. We know the organizations they control. We know all these things. But you cannot say that a couple of tens of thousands of people represent the millions of Esans.
No.
You can't say that. We have Esans. Esans voted for Peter Obi in the presidential election. Edos voted for Peter Obi in the presidential elections.
Exactly.
So it is laughing, it becomes a laughing matter to me when people begin to behave like clowns and come on social media and say, we are Edo. We're not going to vote Esa because this. And you see, I have had so many of these things come from people who position themselves, who give an impression that they are intellectuals. People who have sat on social media, who have sat on television stations and have said that we are trying to promote the Benin heritage. I have seen these people take certain positions, and I begin to ask myself, based on your utterances, can you clearly say that you are promoting Benin heritage? No, because you cannot write the Benin history and omit essence. It's not possible. You cannot write the Benin history and omit the Izons. It's not possible.
It's not possible, sir.
You cannot write the Benin history and leave out the Urobos, the Kwales, the Ishekiris. It's not possible. So for Edos, for some certain actors to come and sit down on new media and go around with the kind of narrative they are throwing out there, it clearly shows that these people are not what they claim they are. Because you see, it's a simple thing. Judge us by our utterances. Judge us by our actions. Don't judge us by titles. We all can say we are representing the interest of Benin, but do we truly do the things that promotes the interest of Benin? Because you cannot say you represent the interest of Benin and you are fanning the fire of disunity. That is clearly a contradiction. You cannot say that you are promoting the interest of the palace or the cultural interest of the Benin Empire, and you sit down on new media to give an impression that Esans are this, Esans are that, and they cannot be trusted. Okay, let us even analyze, Mr. President. Has an Esan man governed Edo State?
Why not?
The people that have governed Edo State more. Obaseki is an Edo man.
Yeah.
Lucky Binedo is an Edo man. And several others that have come, apart from those who came during the military era. You understand? These people, have you Edos been able to hold them to account? You've not held them to account.
No.
We have not. We've had a lot of talk of Lucky Binedo looted, he destroyed Edo State, blah blah blah. He's not an Esa man. He's an Edo man.
Exactly.
So it is disgusting for Edos to sit on social media to say that an Esa man who has not really ruled the state cannot be trusted with power. First and foremost, I need to correct an impression. An Edo man is not more Benin than an Esa man.
Not at all.
They need to first understand that. An Edo man is not more Benin than an Esa man.
Exactly.
An Esa man is not more Benin than an Onwa man. An Esa man is not more Benin than an Eka man. So when I see these people running around on social media, I begin to wonder, are they really intelligent? Because they don't sound as though they are intelligent. Because if you are intelligent, you will know that an Esa woman has produced kings in Benin Kingdom. Go and read the history, it is there. Unless you now want to say that it is the Esan blood in the kings that have made them, not rule the Benin kingdom well, because that's how we can add up 1 + 1. But you see, Mr. President, this set of people, the reason why I don't even want to always engage them on their platforms is because they believe 4 + 4 is 44. And if you believe 4 + 4 is 44, that's your belief.
Exactly.
But I know that 4 + 4 is 8. So I'm not going to engage you who think 4 + 4 is 44. Because I already know that 4 + 4 is 8. I'm just going to address the people who are going to be hoodwinked by your nonsense you do. People who you brainwash, people who you use. You always position yourself as an Edo champion. Then they make donations to you because they think you are an Edo champion. But everything you do is against the Edo people, you yourselves. But because the people are gullible, they've got this tribalistic way of thinking. And so people exploit them by trying to play tribal cards. But we know the history, because we look at the history, we look at the facts. This is not hypothesis, it's pure theory. We look at the facts. The Esas have always been a fighting force for the Benin kingdom. Whether you like it or not, you can't stop it. The Urobos have always been a fighting force for the Benin kingdom. The Ikas have done the same thing. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. And most of the problems that have always emanated, problems of intertribal conflicts in the history of Benin kingdom,
Hello?
we have less coming in from the essence.
Hello? Hello, please.
So it's crazy when I begin to see people sit on social media, and start saying things, about essence.
Okay, you want to contribute? Okay, just a moment. Let me put it loud. Sorry, sir. Somebody wants to contribute.
It's all right. That's wonderful.
Okay.
It's good to have you.
You can go on, sir.
Can the caller please round up, please?
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your contribution. If you can give us your name again, sir, because we want our viewers to know your name. Who is talking? Kevin. Okay, thank you very much. We are going to address this issue because we are going to educate some people right now. And we want our vice president to educate some people about politics. Because he also knows politics. And we have people in this organization who knows politics very well. So thank you for your contribution. We are going to address this issue. Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, Mr. President, I'm sorry, I didn't really get most of the things he said, but I picked one or two. If you could just summarize in just 2 minutes, so that I can respond.
I understand. It's like he's trying to say it's undemocratic for some set of people to be pushing one tribe or the other tribe forward to say, okay, we are now in our turn. They should allow the politicians to follow the due process. Because you have to go to primary, you have to be nominated to represent the belong to. You cannot just come out and say, okay, now it's Isanton, we take Isanton person out. It should be the next governor. It should be the next that way. I understand that. And at the same time, it was saying you cannot insult the adult and ask them to vote for you tomorrow. You know. And then we are also going to address that. At the same time, I was also complaining of somebody like Agbe and their co-host who is always on social media insulting the old people. And they should also address those issues. So my question now, I want you to elaborate on the political process in choosing governorship candidate for Edo State.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, and I also want to thank the caller for calling into the program. And I promise you guys that we'll work on the technical issues so that we can be more audible when next time people call. Yeah. Okay, now so to the real issues. First and foremost, you cannot be a governor without being nominated by a political party. That is it. It's a constitutional matter. Now, we have at least over 17 political parties in Edo State. And we saw of recent what the Labour Party did. So if you as an Esa man, you want to become the governor of Edo State, go to any of the political parties, go and pick a form, an intent form, signifying your intention to run. Subject yourself to the rules of the game, which is a primary. Let the delegates come and vote for you. When the delegates vote for you, you become the candidate of that political party. Then you can go around Edo State and campaign. Nobody is saying an Esa man cannot be governor. I don't think the whole ranting by some certain Edo people that Esa man should not be allowed to be governor. I do not think it can stop an Esa man from being governor. I also do not think that the Esas coming up with an Esa agenda can help the Esa man to be governor. If you want to be governor, it is not by creating themes and rantings on social media. You first go and pick a form. You subject yourself to the rules of the internal rules of each political party. It varies because each political party has a constitution. So you follow their rules. You subject yourself to the process. You get nominated, maybe by votes or by consensus, because the constitution allows that, the Electoral Act allows that, you understand? Then you get the party nomination. Now, when you get the party nomination, you've just started. You have to go around and go and canvass for votes. You don't go and canvass for votes in Edo Central because you are an Esa man. You have to go to Edo Central, you have to go to Edo South, and the rest of them, Edo North. That is how you play politics. You understand? And I do not think that if an Esa man comes out today, all Esas will vote for him. I do not think so.
No.
I do not also think if an Esa man comes out today, all Edos will not vote for him. I do not think so. I think people always vote for who is able to convince them. I have seen Esas, a lot of Esas voted for Obaseki.
Yes.
These Esas who voted for Obaseki don't care whether he's from Edo South. And when our own professor who got kicked out through the proclamation of the court, the Esa man, the professor, one under PDP, he got a lot of votes from Edo South. Why didn't the Edo say, no, we are not going to vote for him because he's Esa? You see? And these are the things that we are saying. And I have always told people, Ebodage is my brother. People should not always take him serious. He does not represent the Esa people.
No.
Aigbe is my brother. He does not represent the views and the opinions of the majority of the Esa people. Stop taking him serious. And stop taking all these other people serious. If Esa Mega Forum thinks that they can produce the governor of Edo State by creating an Esa agenda, let them go ahead. I'm an Esa man. I'm going to look. If you give me a candidate that is not convincing, I'm not going to vote for him because he's Esa. And I think a lot of people need to understand these things. A lot of my Edo brothers need to understand these things. That in Esa land, we have very deep, intelligent, independent-minded people. And we don't do things based on tribe. If there is any tribe that does not do things based on tribe, Esas are one of them.
Exactly.
And that is why when our brother is doing something, some of us will come out and call him to order. We will not say because he's Esa, we are going to cover the things he does. No. And I have told people, Aigbe is my brother. He once represented the agenda of the Benin Kingdom.
Yes.
Yes. And I respected him for that. If he chooses today to say, no, I don't want to represent the agenda of the Benin Kingdom again, I want to limit myself to my tribe, Esa, he's good. I don't have a problem with that. But when he begins to go about it in a way that seems to misrepresent the Esa people or seem to distort the history of the Esa man, I, as an Esa man, will stand and say no. Because that is what we are taught. We are taught to be truthful, we are taught to be honest, and we are taught to stand with integrity. That is what we are taught as Esas. So this issue of people fighting over, it is because you people, you Edos, you Benis, Edos and Esas and whatever, you choose. You are the ones that amplify it. Because you are the ones that go on their pages and go and be dropping comments. If you see broadcasts like this that tends to keep us in disunity, ignore it. Don't comment. Ignore them. When they don't get the traffic, because all of this, we know it's just about traffic.
Yes.
It's just about monetization. It's just about the proceeds they are getting from this broadcast. We know. And I'm telling you people, if you know you love the ancient Benin Kingdom, if you know you are a true son of the Benin Kingdom, don't give ears, don't amplify these shenanigans that the Edos and the Esans are doing on social media, because it doesn't represent us. And I have always told people, I have not heard that an Edo man migrates from Edo South, goes to Edo Central, and says he wants to build a shopping mall. And the Esan people will say, no, you are an Edo man, we will not give you land to build shopping mall. I have never heard. I have never heard that an Esan man will go to Edo South and say, I want land to build a university. And the Edo South people, the Edos, will say, no, you are an Esan. I'm not going to give you land to build a university. I have never heard. So all these things that go on social media, they are artificial. It does not exist. Because we have Esans living in Benin City, in Edo South. Some of them have built houses there. Some of them are landlords there. Some of them are tenants there. And I have never had an Edo landlord say, I am not going to give my house to an Esan. I'm not saying it does not exist, but I'm saying even if it exists, it is not the majority.
Yeah.
And because it's not the majority, it's not the reality. And so we are looking at practical realities. No tribe in Edo State can become governor on its own. The Edo South can never produce a governor on their own. That is why you saw Obaseki jump to Edo Central. He was jumping to Edo North. He canvassed for votes. Every angle, everywhere, every nooks and crannies of that state. Because he understands that he cannot be governor by the votes, just by the mere votes of the Edo South people. It's not possible. And my Esan brothers must understand that politics is a game of numbers. It's not a game of tribalism. It's not a game of religious bigotry. It is a game of numbers. If you want to win, you want to become governor, you've got to talk to everybody. You've got to talk to everybody. If I want to be governor today, I am not going to stick to the parochial Esan agenda. I have a greater Esan agenda. My greater Esan agenda is to see the peace and prosperity of everybody in Edo State, irrespective of the tribe. My Esan agenda is to see that the Oba of Benin is given the respect that he needs to be given. My Esan agenda is to see that the dreams and the visions of the Oba of Benin, of the throne that represents me as an Esan man, is brought to fusion. Just as I would respect the energies in Esan land and help them develop, it's the same thing I would do to the Oba of Benin. Because he's our overall, whether we like it or not, that's what divine providence has bequeathed us with. It would be stupid for us to go around and start creating enemies where there are none.
Yeah.
And I don't respond to Aigbe because he's my brother. No matter what Aigbe does today, I am not going to drag him out and hand him over to a mob. I have said that countless times. I am not going to hand Aigbe over to people to hang him. So if certain elements in Edo State, in Edo South, think that some of us who disagree with Aigbe must produce him so that they can cut his neck, it's not going to happen. Because I will always defend an Edo man. Just as I would defend an Esan man. I would always defend an Ika man. Just as I would defend an Onwa man. Just as I would defend a Kwale or an Urobo. Why? Because I understand that we are of the same father. So I've always told people, leave Aigbe alone. Leave him. Let him do his things. He's in his own world. And you see, Mr. President, remember when we had this broadcast, when the issue was going on, when people placed a bounty on his head and said if he gets to Italy, they will kill him. And if he gets to Germany, they will do this. If he goes to Spain, they will do this. And I told everybody, when this guy was propagating a Benin agenda, you all were clapping for him.
Yes, nobody wants it.
When he defended the Benis against the IPOB, you all were clapping for him. If he's having his moments of craziness, leave him. and pray for him. Ask our ancestors to bring him back to his senses. That's if you think he's not in his senses. That is what you should do as a brother. Why? Because you see, before we judge anybody, we must always remember the good things they have done. That is the way I see life. Before I judge any Edo man, I will first put forward the good things he has done as an Edo man. I'm not going to say, because you have said things against Asian people, in essence, so we are going to kill you. I don't belong to that group of people. I don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to kill my brother.
Thank you, sir. If I have to add to it what you are saying right now, I have known Agbe for more than 3 or 4 years now, and I work with him also, as you know. During the time of the IPOB, it was of a great help to the Benin,
Exactly.
to say the fact. I was crying day in and day out, calling on Edo people, calling on all Benin to come out to defend the Benin Empire. Every one of you people refused.
Exactly.
There was no other person who came out apart from Agbe.
Exactly.
When the issue between me and Agbe started, I just decided to go quietly. Likewise, you also. Not to
exactly.
Things that should not be provoked.
Exactly.
People were accusing me I'm the one who make Agbe as it is now. I know Agbe as a normal human being like you and me, because everybody has his brain, has his heart. You choose the line you want to walk. Nobody gives you your line to walk on. He makes his decision. Although in one way or the other, the decision he made was influenced in one way or the other by us. Because he felt disappointed in us. But we gave him the advice. This he was doing not to be doing. But there was no other option for us to be with him rather to go.
Exactly.
All this that is happening. When we left, there were so many Edo people who came into that organization who was also working with him. Promoting all he was doing. But we sent them a signal out. This person is becoming a time bomb. But none of them refused to recognize. When the issue started happening, all of them were calling on you. Please come back, please do this. Where were you when you people were calling you criminal? When you people were calling of names?
Exactly.
All of you kept quiet. So I want to say this to my Edo people. It is undemocratic. To bring out a certain ethnic group of people to be governing over a people. I think in the democratic process, we should allow the Benin people to choose their leader.
Exactly.
Because there's no ethnic group that has a monopoly to rule Edo State or to rule Nigeria as a whole.
No.
You as a citizen, if you want to rule Edo State, you are free to do that. And I want it to be known to everybody. Agbe and his co-hosts are not representing they are representing the sex.
Exactly.
But if you allow yourself to be influenced by this, then it's your fault. It's not their fault.
Exactly.
Because I cannot go to, because in my last podcast, when I was alone, I talked about this procedure. Democracy begins at home.
Exactly.
Don't allow your father to tell you who to vote for. Make the decision yourself.
Make the decision yourself. Exactly.
The candidates you are voting for, let it be your secret.
Exactly.
Families can be of different parties. It doesn't really matter. It's only the people that we think the other parties are our enemy, the other parties are our enemy. In the real sense, there's no enmity in any political process.
No.
It's the people who represent themselves very well, who be able to come out and say something that the people will believe. But that's the people they're going to vote for. Agbe cannot bring a candidate out today, or the Asian Media Forum cannot bring a candidate out today to tell some people to support them.
Okay. It's not possible. They don't represent all Asians.
Yes. For example, in the past presidential, immediate past presidential election, we have an Asian song. Our own Asian song. Contested.
Yes. Professor Imumole.
Yes. Did you see any Asian people who came out in support?
No. Even when we begged the people, yes, we told Benin, we told those that we have somebody on the platform of the Accord Party. Yeah. Let's give him our support so that Benin will stop playing second fiddle in the political affairs of Nigeria. They didn't listen to us. Yes. They went to queue up behind a man that told everybody that the IPOB is his friend. Yes. The same IPOB that insulted the Oba. Yes. The same IPOB that degraded the Benin people. You people queued up, you backed him. But we didn't say you are our enemy because you backed that candidate. We believe in choices. Yes. You understand? We believe in choices. We allowed you people to express yourself because we understand that in politics, people must be allowed to express themselves. And so a lot of you supported. And you see what happened, Mr. President, on Tuesday, when a guy from the IPOB, the IPOB guy that did a broadcast and insulted all the influencers from Benin, telling them they only used Peter Obi to grow their pages and make money. And you see, I wasn't even bothered with what he said because already we have told you people, leave these people alone. But the Benin's are not listening. The Benin seem to love other people more than themselves. And that's where they have a problem. I'm not saying anybody shouldn't vote Peter Obi, but I'm saying before you vote, look clearly. Politics is about interest.
Yes.
Yes. If my interest is to have a Benin son in Aso Rock, because I believe a Benin son who is in Aso Rock will listen to my cry, then I will go with the closest opportunity I have to put a Benin son in Aso Rock. That is politics. I'm not going to go and doing, you see, all the things, it just clearly shows that we as Benin people, we need to step back and have a rethink on some of the things we are doing. Because when the IPOB was attacking the Oba of Benin, attacking Essence, attacking Edos, it was Aigbe, an Esa man, that stood.
Yes.
The Edos who are shouting, trying to crucify Aigbe today, never said a word. Now, when it became time to do politics, it is the same Edos and Benins who are criticizing Aigbe today that went to queue behind the man who says he's a friend to the people who insulted their father. So there is some sort of hypocrisy. When the IPOB were insulting the Oba of Benin, you kept quiet. And the Aigbe was fighting for you. Now, when Aigbe decides to insult Edos, you carry arms and you want to kill him. But you kept quiet when the IPOBians were insulting the Oba. In fact, you joined them and told them you wanted to make them president. You understand? That's the hypocrisy. We need to tell ourselves some plain truths. We don't love Benin. We pretend to love Benin. We don't love Benin. A lot of these people out there pretend to love Benin. Because when it matters most to do something for the prosperity of Benin, you people, You all and I'm telling my Edo brothers, Aigbe is the least of your problem.
Exactly.
Because it is not Aigbe that is selling our sisters in Libya. It is not Aigbe that is selling our sisters in Italy. It is not Aigbe that is duping our people up and down. We should look inward. We should stop all this hypocrisy where we cherry pick who we want to call our enemy today. Aigbe is not an enemy to the Benin Empire.
No,
he is too small to be an enemy. He is too small. Spoken to him. He's my brother. And I'm not going to say because of the things that Aigbe is doing, I would denounce Aigbe as my brother. Aigbe is my brother. In every family, there's always a black sheep.
Yes.
That's the reality. But I am saying, before you people carry arms and want to kill Aigbe today, you should ask yourself questions. Have you also done things that has painted the Benin Kingdom in a bad light? Have you duped your own brothers? Have you sold your sisters to the slave merchants in Libya? Have you sold drugs to your own people? If you have done that, shut up. You have no right to criticize Aigbe. When it is time for us to sit down with Aigbe, I am the one who will sit down with Aigbe. I will sit down with him. He's my brother. I'm not going to say because of the things he does today, I will crucify him. I'm not going to do that. If an Edo man does something today, I'm not going to say because he's doing some things against Esans, I will crucify him. I am not going to do that. An Edo man, an Esa man is my brother. And I think we need to begin to understand these things.
Hello.
Aigbe is not responsible for the kinds of roads we have in Edo State.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's already on speaker. You can go on, sir. I don't, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, thank you very much, sir. If I should reply this, if we are not trying in any way to sugarcoat anything Agbe is doing, we are totally, completely against what he's doing right now. But there's a question we are still asking Edo people. Where were you people during the time of IPOB? When Agbe was coming out? Yes. Who? You know, I'm also from a traditional house when it comes to this issue. I was with Agbe during that period, and I can tell you from first hand, the threat Agbe was in that period. No Edo man could resolve it, to say the fact. It was day in and day out threat from IPOB. Let us put things clear. I said it before. We are not supporting in any way Agbe for what he's doing right now. But we are the same people who is giving him this power. Go to his page today, you will see some of our Edo people who is supporting him, insulting our own Omo N'Oba of Benin.
Exactly. That's the point.
Yes. We are not in any way. Okay, let me put this clear to you. Okay, allow me to put this clear, sir. You know, when I left the organization, you know the people who came after me first?
They were the Edo people.
It was the Edo people. Not even Agbe himself. You know? These were people, you know, the only person that really stands with me is the person that is live with me today in the broadcast. He's an Isaman. I'm an Edo man. I doesn't support anything hatred. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's wrong, sir. You know, it's wrong, sir. In the way you are right, but who is giving him this power? Who is behind all this? Okay. I don't wear. I work on your pop who do. Remember that. When some child is speaking the truth, know that there are people behind it.
Exactly.
To take Agbe out of social media, we have to deal with these people first.
Exactly.
We have to deal
that is what people are not seeing.
Because Agbe alone cannot be doing this. There are people behind it. We have to recognize
Exactly.
take these people out before we can take Agbe out. Because I know from first hand that okay, left the line. That there are people who were sponsoring him that period. You know, but I decided to keep quiet for unity purpose.
Yes.
Because anytime you go to every page and make a comment and insult him, it's like you are promoting him.
Exactly.
And he's not going to back down. He's not such a person that backs down from anything he's doing. So the only thing you can do is to just ignore him, ignore what he's doing, don't give him a listening ear. If nobody is listening to him, if nobody is liking what he's doing, I think he's going to step back.
Exactly.
But as far as people still behind it, because I know the insult I received during the time. I received insult. I think spread from Yoruba people, from IPOB men, from Opadua people. I don't call them Yoruba people because I don't want to insult all the Yoruba. The Oduwa people, then the IPOB. I know the threat and the insult I received. But that doesn't stop me from not doing what I was doing. That doesn't stop you from not doing what you were doing. So for people to be coming out today to blame on others and each other, that's not correct. Or using threat or something like that. This is not what these people are known for. We are known for our own intellect, integrity. So if Agbe is doing what he's doing, let him continue. If he doesn't have you, I will fight. So, but people like me, I don't retire. I'm always here, and I'll be here. Before so many of us that is now coming out to challenge, that's the opportunity to be coming out to start challenging. We are already in the forefront. Receiving insults, people calling us back, doing all sorts of nonsense. We are not fighting for recognition or something like that. We are just here where we believe there's something going wrong. We have to do some correction. And this is what we are doing today. You must not take what we are doing. You must not do what we advise you to do. It's all left for you. Likewise, Agbe, all is left for you. But anytime insult our Omo N'Oba of Benin, I will always reply him in my own manner. It doesn't have to be a vibe. Interaction between us. It doesn't even have to interact. There's a signal I can send to him as a body. But by the time we started discussing this matter, it's like we are promoting him. We want people to know him more. So I'm not interested in that. It's not only there are some people. Monkey Face has been living in Germany for a very long time. Insulting our Omo N'Oba. What has the Benin people done about it? Nobody did something. You know what? We tried day in and day out, but it doesn't take action. When action is needed. When
Mr. President, if I may add something.
Yes, sir.
I think so many of these people are not understanding.
I believe so.
We have a position in our own organization. We don't have a we no go green mentality. We don't do that.
No.
We don't go about with we no go green or we no go green. We are not those kind of people. What we do in our organization is to present facts and solutions from an intellectual standpoint. We are not militants.
Never.
We won't go and be threatening people up and down. And we understand that whether you are Edo, whether you are Esa, whether you are Ika, Urobo, Kwale, anything, you are Benin. And so we understand that when you do wrong, we are not going to throw away the baby and the bathwater. We won't do that. And that is why we have taken the kinds of position we have taken. And I think a lot of my Edo brothers should understand that there are a lot of Edos who are on social media insulting the Oba.
Yes, a lot.
Doing much more than Aigbe. They must understand that there are a lot of Edos on social media attacking Essence today. I don't want to mention names.
Yes, there are many of them.
There are many of them. So what I am saying is there has to be a balance. But in balancing this issue, you must do it out of love, not out of spite. If I am going to judge Monkey Face today, I'm not going to judge him as an Esa man.
No.
I am going to judge him as a Benin man who loves my brother. And the several other Edo people who have insulted the Oba, who have insulted Essence, I'm not going to judge them today as an Esa man. I'm going to judge them as a Benin man with love in my heart for them. Because you can't correct these people if you don't have love. You can't. You must first love the people you want to judge. And that is why, you see, for us, we want solutions. And all these people you see, all these characters going up and down on social media, they have something to offer. We can't take that away from them. They have something to offer. Whether they are Essence, whether they are Edos. And I don't want anybody to drag us into all this because both sides are guilty.
Yes.
And it would be hypocritical for an Edo man to come out today to be accusing Aigbe because he's Esa. And you left out Monkey Face. That's what I am saying. I have criticized Aigbe as an Esa man. And I've also criticized Edos. That's the reality. We cannot be cherry picking. He who comes to demand for justice must come with a clean hands.
Exactly.
That's what we are saying. And we are trying to make you people understand that this whole fight you are having on social media is not helping anybody. We spend so much time on negative things. How come we have not spent time arguing over how many factories we are going to build? Now, when it comes to Esa Edo issue, everybody's all of a sudden have a voice. But nobody seems to care if we don't have good roads. Yes. Nobody seems to care if we don't have potable water. Nobody seems to care when Mr. President, don't forget when the Fulani herdsmen were killing our people.
Yes.
It was under the Great Benin Emancipation, under the leadership of Aigbe.
Yes.
That we gathered money to buy walkie-talkies and buy some equipment to give to the vigilantes before the governor of Edo State ever thought of doing anything. Yes. The Great Benin Emancipation was there. You were the vice president.
Yes,
Aigbe was the president. Most of the killings that happened in Edo South.
Yes.
Yes. So that's why I'm saying that we need to be objective. When we are judging issues, we need to be objective. I'm not going to crucify Aigbe. I'm not going to crucify Monkey Face. I'm not going to crucify Omo N'Oba. I'm not going to crucify Izodua. I'm not going to crucify all these characters. They are my brothers. I want to focus more on their strengths and see how we can use their strengths, their capacity to develop our land. And everybody has an opinion. I believe in listening to everybody. I'm not going to stop them from airing their views, but I am going to, if I want to tell the Benin people that what Aigbe is saying is wrong, I must be able to do that by presenting to them what is right. Not just going on social media and shouting, he's distorting history, he's doing this. No. We must counter it by presenting things that are factual, things that are accurate. That is how we build intellectual discussions.
Yes.
We can't go around acting like dogs and touts. That's not what we are. And I am telling all these people that are aggrieved that I am not going to be a part of the mob. It's not going to happen. It didn't happen yesterday. It's not going to happen today. If I did not condemn Monkey Face or condemn all the Edo people insulting the Oba, condemn all the Edo people insulting the Essence, I am not going to condemn Aigbe. I will judge him. But if I'm going to judge him, I'm going to judge him justly. And how do I do that? My brother, you are wrong. You owe the people an apology. You need to stop what you're doing because it's not for your good and it's not for the good of the people. I am not going to say, Aigbe, you are wrong, bring your neck and I'm going to cut it off. Okay, if we cut off Aigbe's neck today, what have we gained? We just lost a son. If we tie Monkey Face now and tie him down and put him on firing squad and blow his head off, what have we gained? We've lost a son. If we take Omo N'Oba and his group and we take all the other group from Edo State and we decide to pack all of them together and throw them into the lake of fire, what have we gained? We've lost sons.
Yes.
And this is what we are saying. We must manage our diversity. We must manage these opinions. Some of them are annoying. Some of them are nauseating. Some of them are disrespectful.
Yes.
But we must prove to these people that we are higher intellectually. We must prove to these people we are not of little minds like them. And how do we prove it? By our approach to these things, to our conduct. I'm not going to sit on a broadcast and start insulting. I get upset sometimes when they do all these stupid things because I get upset because I wonder why they don't understand that what they are doing is costing us so much.
Yes.
Yes. But I'm not going to sit down there and say we should kill them.
No.
I am more interested. See, Mr. President, you know, I've said this before. I will sit down with Izodua. I will sit down with Omo N'Oba. I will sit down with Monkey Face. I will sit down with Aigbe. I will sit down with all these people.
Yes.
When it comes to issues of development, you've insulted the Oba, no problem. You've insulted Essence, no problem. You've insulted Edo, no problem. Okay, now let's leave the insults aside. Let's talk development. Let's talk development. Let's talk how we will get roads, how we will build schools, how we are going to have pipe-borne waters, how we will have security, how we will build our own Silicon Valley, how we will make our people independent and not second-class citizens in Nigeria. Maybe, you see, most of our Benin brothers do not understand the importance of Ovuarime.
Yes.
We don't understand his importance. It was when our ancestor Ovurame died in January 1914. It was after his death that the British had the strength to amalgamate southern Nigeria with the northern Nigeria. That is how strong our ancestors were. And we don't even understand the history that after Ovurame was exiled, the Essence still fought guerrilla warfare for 2 years against the British. against the British. The Essans fought for 2 years against the British. The Essans did not say Ovorame is Edo. Need to follow the pattern of our ancestors, those who came before us, and stop all this nonsense. Mr. President.
Oh, thank you very much. From my own personal experience, my positive way of life, I also want to give it to people. And my positive experience about the Asian people, I want to give it out to other people. I've met Asians before who stands behind me. When I was poor, I was having nothing. I was not even having a room. They harbored me for a very, very long time. And likewise, I did the same thing for them because of whom they have. They were the people who chased me out. You know? And they were those people also bring me in. You know? It doesn't have to be a bad person. It's not doesn't depend on ethnic. The bad person is a bad person. The good person is a good person. Whether you are Asian or you are Edo, even people were sending me voice message. When I left, many of them I still have them as evidence as they were insulting me. Okay, so it's for me. Okay, I think the wise is calling.
I think we have a call.
Yeah, I have a call. Hello. You want to call your line? Want to join him out? Okay, problem you know. I'll finish in a call you. Okay now. I'm very sorry for the disturbance. The secretary of the organization, and he's supposed to be with us because I told him to be with us. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you about that. Okay. Bye bye. So sorry once again.
Sorry, Mr. President. I like what I'm seeing here. I see a message from Omo N'Oba, and it says it should not be a negative experience for all, as we have drive our economy and technology forward for future generation. Thank you very much, Ozi. This is what we are talking about. We should spend more energy and time on things that will benefit our people. Thank you very much for your contribution. God bless you.
Yeah, Mr. Ozi has been Omo N'Oba has been a fan of us right from the beginning. So we appreciate you for that. You are one of our best fans, and we are very, very grateful that you are with us also in this broadcast, because as your name may sound, it may not sound Edo, but we know whom you are. We know how supportive you have been to this organization with your comments and everything. We might be speaking Ika, we might be speaking Kwale, we might be speaking Udo and others. At the end, we all have a special DNA, which is the Benin DNA.
Exactly.
You know, how do we spread from each other? How did it come that people are speaking this? How did it come that people are speaking Aka? How did it come that people are speaking Kwale? How did it come that people are speaking Shakiri, Orobo, Isoko, and so on? So it's because of our DNA, because we know each other, and it has not been easy for our forefather to bring us under control. That is why we are almost everywhere in Nigeria today, especially in the south of Nigeria. So I think we should learn from our forefathers. A lot to learn from them. Because when you go to the Eastern part, when you go to the Omo, Kwale, and everybody will tell you their history, then you will understand why we call us Benin. Because we doesn't have a child to dispute. We all belong together. We have differences. And the differences also make us stronger in some ways because we can sort it out without harming each other. The Beninese are the fourth war, and they come back again to reconcile.
Exactly.
To say, okay, we are brothers and sisters. So there's, if you look at the Yoruba, they are also very close to the Benin. There's no almost Benin community today you go into where it doesn't have an Yoruba camp or Yoruba in the community.
Exactly. Exactly.
That makes us unique people. What two people or three people are doing on social media it doesn't really affect us in that manner. People are trying to put it. All we want to accept is in our brain. If you want to accept what I is saying, if you want to accept what we are saying, it's also in your own brain. You have to own your own heart. You have to do that. Choose for yourself.
Exactly.
Because I cannot choose for you. But all we are doing in this organization is bringing everybody together to be a good thing. We should have our differences. Everywhere in the world, there's always a difference. America has different. Yeah, I'm sitting here right now. There's a difference between the neighbors and the other neighbors. You can't stop that as a human. All we can do is how do we bring them together? How do we bring them to work together for the progress of this community?
Exactly.
That is exactly. And if you listen very carefully in the beginning of this broadcast, we were talking about the Omo N'Oba of Benin and the Benin, and some of the Edo people community out of issue of the enmity. We have normal procedure. For example, if the Oba suspend a no-bill, suspend a chief, and others, we have the normal procedure. This number. But we shouldn't be taking everything everybody is saying too seriously. Otherwise, we won't move forward. I'm saying this from my own personal experience. When you live in Europe, you'll be confronted with so many things, so many issues. Then or if you live in America, you'll be confronted with so many things in the Arab nations. So you will learn out of this. You will know how to manage your life in those situations. And that's what we should be doing. We are now in a new era, social media era. There's nothing that comes that doesn't go away. Social media will go away again. Maybe we will be even confronted with something even more worse than where we are today. But what will we do then? It depends on what we are doing right now. What we are doing, how people are doing what they are doing. When Mark Zuckerberg invented Facebook, he was thinking differently. He wanted to do a different thing. But people brought into this situation where people are inserting themselves in the social media where he created. Sometimes there are things you can control. There are some things you cannot really control.
Exactly.
So we cannot control everything. We condemn what he's doing. But it's left for him to turn back and say, okay, what I was doing is wrong. And let me come back and good terms with my people. He's one of us. You can't deny that. Because I cannot deny my brother when it comes to issues. And I cannot allow anything to happen to him.
No.
Or to any of our brothers.
At all.
Because he doesn't know who we help. Your worst enemy may be your best friend for money. So That is all I have to say for now, because we are really staying here too long. We are also going to 2 hours. So we have to break down, and maybe during the week or next weekend. Yes. To all our viewers, to all our well wishers, to our followers, we are always on air every Sunday. We are going to be on air now. It's a compulsory thing for us. We are making it compulsory, even though it's 15 minutes, even though it's 10 minutes. We are going to be coming and talking about things that matters, really matters. Because if you watch our show, we haven't come out one day to insult anybody. We don't have that. We're not in our DNA. Yeah, we have some tense discussion, and that is normal. So everybody has his right and freedom to express himself. It's called freedom of expression. So, and I will not stop anybody to go on social media to do what he wants to do. So it's left for that person to really put himself out there to be insulting people or not to be insulting people. But I will advise all our insulting people on social media may bring you money, but will that money last forever?
No.
So that is what we should be thinking of. Every may be any money from that today. Many people may be any money from that. Facebook will die tomorrow. Die down tomorrow. What will you do? Instagram will die down tomorrow. What will you do? Which people are you going to be running? I don't believe Igbo will run to Igbo people, to Yoruba people. He's going to be running back to running to his products.
Yes.
So I'm going to bring out the video maybe today or tomorrow about Isan people. Isan of you know. An avatar is going to be talking in this video about Isan. Well, maybe after that, I will be talking about the relationship between the Isan and the Edo. So we shouldn't be always be saying only the negative side of people. That is what we have been trying to portray right from the beginning. We should also try to be learning from all these negative issues we have. Because through this discussion, we get to know each other more. We get to, sometimes we have to admit our wrongdoing, and we have to also present ourselves in a beautiful manner. Let me just say that this is what we are doing.
Exactly.
Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. So thank you. So that is what happened. I wish you all good luck, good health, and a happy weekend. Happy Sunday.
Lastly, Mr. President, we have a lot of videos, past broadcasts on our social media sites and on our YouTube channel. Yeah. So please go out there, support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and leave a comment, and also keep your notification button alive so that once we drop new broadcasts, you will get notifications. I want to thank everybody, and I say as we go out this week, God will bless us, God will be with us and open doors for us, and God would, give us the wisdom we need to create wealth. And as you go out, please, at the back of your mind, always know that we have just one agenda, and that agenda is the Benin agenda. So yes, go out there and please propagate that Benin agenda. Thank you very much. God bless you all for your time, and have a fruitful week. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Thank everyone for being with us. Please don't forget to subscribe to our page, our Facebook page, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all social media. We have almost all of them accounts. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. If you support what we are doing, you can as well donate to our organization. And this money, or anything you donate, will be used perfectly for our people. It's not going into our pocket, but everything spent in the benefit of our people. So
Exactly.
thank you very much, and God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.